Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Proverbs of Profit with of course myself.
Sure.
I never
Who
write.
are you?
No, do it. Don't clean. So I never work like alone, guys. But so you guys know I'm always with my brother. Kalagat.
I'm good. I'm good, man. Thank you so much. I'm good. Hope you guys are doing well today.
Sure.
Today we're talking about entrepreneurship. What entrepreneurship is, and we just want to talk about like why it's important. It's a conversation that, it's graduation for a lot of universities. That's when graduations take place, and we feel like it's an important conversation to have with those who have graduated with kind of hoping to get a job, which is okay, nothing wrong with that. By God's grace, you will get a job, right? If you want a job, you will get a job. If you pray for it, God will do things for you, right? And also talking to those ones that have, kind of scared to like tap into it.
Sure.
The ones that have thought about the idea but never really did the idea. We're talking to those guys that are interested in finance and want to have their contribution to making the world a better place, because I believe entrepreneurs do make the world a better place in their way, right? So that's the conversation we're having today. The heck is an entrepreneur?
Right, so even before even going to the actual definition, it's just realizing Wuting. Right, so the world as we know it today, it was shaped by entrepreneurs.
That's true.
Everything you know to be like the thing that we are comfortable using, the things that we is literally handcrafted by entrepreneurs. So the book definition of an entrepreneurship is opening a business or businesses, taking financial risk to like in hopes of getting a profit. But in business, fully business, opening a business, I feel like that's basically what it is. Mangi beg, I mean, why this thing is also very like it resonates with me so much because of the fact that I like we've all read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think that's the book that we're all always introduced to. About finance, right? So there's a part where this guy Robert says people that literally won't create wealth for themselves are like people that have businesses and people that invest. So there's only two real ways to actually create wealth for yourself. And also, like I said, it's literally through someone had a vision, brought it to life, and we adopted it, and now it's normal. These are people that have literally shifted how we think, how we operate, how we cook, how we conversate. Now there is a phone, right? Like you have a phone, I have a phone. Because somebody thought of the fact to I don't want to have to travel to your house to conversate. Now I can have a phone. And it's constantly evolving because one guy decides we need a phone. And then the next guy decides as much as we need a phone, but why can't a computer literally why can't we just merge a phone and a computer at one time? That's Steve Jobs. Where even though it's a phone, but it's a high quality phone. It has all these different features that are right now it's normal, right? So these people have literally shaped how we think. Namhlanje, you can go and buy groceries at ShopRite because one brute decided, let me create this. Now it's normal for us to we've adopted it and we've made it ours. So that's why for me, like you can't necessarily avoid it or ignore it because of the fact that if you want to shape the world, which I feel like the world is at that brink right now, it's okay, sure. This is the new world, shape it, me.
Okay, now also when we talk about how entrepreneurs have shaped the world, it's not necessarily that we're undermining builders, not undermining inventors. Entrepreneurs were the financiers. Entrepreneurs was the one who said, okay, I believe in your idea. Let's get it popping. I'm gonna finance it. I'll take that. I believe in your idea that much that I believe we're gonna go sell it to people. He believed in the builder and financed it. He believed in a lot of people. So like entrepreneurs finance. Entrepreneurs sometimes also come with the ideas and say, look, I'm gonna own the idea and sell the idea to people. So that's what entrepreneurs are, and I look up to a lot, and I spend countless hours
Sure.
trying to understand these people, especially the ones that are great at it. You know, the Elon Musks of the world.
Sure.
I've watched documentaries about Steve Jobs of the world. I've watched documentaries about McDonald's and
Richard
all these. You
Mabonya,
feel
dog.
me? Like all these entrepreneurs that are great, like Vusitin Bewalos, and looking at their biographies and all that. So entrepreneurship is important because it has quote unquote built the world. You know, everything like the clothes that you have. You know, like it was an entrepreneur
That did that.
you know what I'm saying? It was an entrepreneur. It was an entrepreneur's factory.
Sure.
You know, so we believe in it so much, and we want to talk about it like in a sense of these are amongst one of the courageous people in the world. The reason why they say entrepreneurs are D and C students is because it can only be those students that can see, okay, cool, your schooling system is not really made for me, therefore let me try this thing out and embarrass myself. It takes a whole lot of courage.
Sure.
It takes a whole lot of, you know, balls to actually go for it. And entrepreneurs go for it and they take that risk and you know, many fail. I've seen many companies fail. We've seen many companies fail in front of us, you know what I'm saying? But also in the same breath, you know, we've seen them persevere through the roughest of times. And you know, they say stuff like the hardest thing you ever do is become an entrepreneur, because that's when you truly take responsibility. And it's no disrespect to any employee, but like you kind of have somebody responsible over you as long as you work. You know, I have been an employee before. I have been, and it has been someone above me's, you know, responsibility to make sure that
Clean.
I'm paid. You know what I'm saying? Like when you become an entrepreneur, you have to take that responsibility. And you know, it's unfortunate that as a country we find ourselves having to be forced to be entrepreneurs. We find ourselves as a country having to resort to it sometimes, even if some of us aren't intrinsically entrepreneurs. Maybe you're looking at yourself like, but I don't want to do that.
Sure.
But it's not wrong. It's true.
This country needs it.
We need you to take charge. We need you to go to the corner of the street and do something. And here's the thing, you know, that also I want to talk about, especially if you're South African and watching this, is immigrants have really passed us up.
Vana.
Immigrants have really passed us up because they were like, okay, cool, I don't have an ID. I come from absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Let me do something about it. I've seen them go to do things that are incredible. Right? We buy stuff from them now. They serve us, right? So we need you. We need you to
create
participate.
something, bro.
Create something and take and just have the guts to open it. And the beautiful thing about it is the fact that, you know, if you have the ego, you know, to not want to go in a street corner, if you have too much ego to not start a podcast, if you have that ego, you can start a business online and sell online and just be invisible and hide behind the link in bio.
Sure, dog.
That's the beautiful thing about right now, right? But like, we need you to participate. We need you to go and say, you know, I've always wanted to sell t-shirts. Let me do it. I've always wanted to do things. Let me do it. I was listening to an interview by Herman Mashal, and please, I'm not being political. Whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or not. So
That's not the case.
what we're talking about here is entrepreneurship, and the entrepreneurship side where we can learn from. And he was talking about how he made Black Like Me a hair food product at a tender age of 22 years old. Was able to have a factory, was able to employ people pre-freedom, right? Was able to do all of these things, and whether you think it's white people behind it or not, it was burnt down because the white people that were like, how can this even happen? How did you even allow this to happen at that much?
Sure.
It shows you we were at a much worse state at the time. But a young man decided to do something about it. And for your life, I hope you take this moment and look around you, where you are in your family, where you can take it, where your parents have taken it, because we come from, you know, I come from a background and my parents come from nothing.
Sure.
And where my parents' generation took us, I have to do something about it. I have to take the step. Like, I owe it to them. I owe it to my kids to make it better than how my parents, made it be for myself. So really, as we're having this conversation right now, think about where you are. Think about where things are coming from. And if you're watching this, perhaps, I don't know, but perhaps as how things are going as a country, things might have in your family slowed down. COVID, people lost jobs, businesses closed. Think about what you want to do, what you are willing to do. Will the job be enough? Will you be truly fulfilled then?
Sure.
And you can be fulfilled in a job. There's nothing wrong with that.
Shout out to workers.
You feel me? You can be fulfilled and be working and buy shares and invest in assets. It's fine. But if you're unfulfilled and feel like you will be unfulfilled, take the courage to go do it.
Sure.
I'm right now in the middle of taking courage to doing something.
Sure.
Right now, this year, it will happen because you see this and go, I don't want to be that guy that just, depended on the government. I don't want that to be the end of my story.
And just to kind of touch on that,
Sure.
that point
Sure.
right there, and why I like the fact that you are saying we need you guys. Okay, clearly maybe you're not gonna create the next Apple or the next ShopRite or the next
Sure.
Capitec.
Sure.
Yeah,
Even if we would love that, you know what I'm saying? But it's possible.
but
it's like, yeah.
but we like you're saying, I actually wanted to touch on the fact that you were saying you don't necessarily want to be the person that depends on the government.
Personally, yeah.
It is very sad to be honest, 80% of country is relying on the government for food, bro.
It's sad.
And we don't have enough conversations like this as young people because manjang it's the social media age. I have to come in here and pretend as if like I can afford everything. I can't. It's being honest. I hate the fact 60% of my family is on grant events. I hate that. I hate it in the core because of the fact because this thing is gonna collapse. I think the first thing, I like being realistic. I'm not a wishful thinker at all. This thing is gonna collapse. What happens when UNESFAS cannot give you the money that you're spending right now? What happens when igranti phela and olet lakho can no longer sustain what happens, bro? I don't necessarily know people's different stories, but I know what I've been around enough people to understand this is a reality. Are literally dependent on these things. Or auntie that are unemployed that are depending on 350. This thing is gonna collapse. And it literally requires us to understand we want you believing this thing was going to exist forever is it's a fairy tale, and it's going to end badly because people are not even equipped to be able to fit on their own. We depending on the government for food. We depend on the government for literally everything now. So I wanted to touch on that fight. I feel like this thing is gonna blow up. It literally, if you are, I don't want to get political in this particular podcast, but all I'm saying is the fact is, if you are tapped into politics, you more or less understand that this country will have to first collapse before it goes up. It's gonna collapse. What's important is the fact that people that are growing, how do we position ourselves? Even if it hits, it's a soft landing. And when it goes up with you. That's why, I'm saying, I like the fact that you're saying to the people with the create something, do something, produce something, bro. Because of the fact that again, we can't rely. How things have been going so far clearly is not working. We need young entrepreneurs to tap into that side of because what kind of entrepreneurship, it drives innovation, which the country needs. It drives, it creates jobs which the country needs. Shout out to everybody that's in university, to people that are studying right now. But I don't know how tapped in you are with other people, ne? But and literally 90% is unemployed right now. I have 2 cousins that have a degree in accounting. They're unemployed. Oh, one 7 clicks. Oh, one 7 spa. That hurts, bro. Ngoba, I'm like, bro,
That's what they wanted.
it's not what they wanted. Well, they hate their like this one cousin of mine is a guy. He hates his life. And he's a genius. I was like, bro, create something. Start something. Maybe even it doesn't necessarily have. You don't necessarily have to be the next Steve Jobs or Elon Musk, bro. Maybe you're into fitness. You like to lift. Create something within that space. Maybe whenever you like helping people eat healthier, create something in that space. And it's beautiful now because of the fact, like you said, abazali bethu we're literally starting from ground zero. Even maybe some of us are starting from ground zero, but it's way better, man.
Sure.
It's way better. You can literally even this is so informal, but we're doing it.
Sure.
We're doing it. We were like, bro, what's your biggest like something that annoys you, like your pain point is like this, the fact that people are in a terrible financial position. Economics are bad in SA, especially for the fact that by the time we get there, it's gonna be worse. And we and siyakula but every single day. So the fact that our parents, yeah, they had it bad. I gotta be nice to them, but we have it softer. The fact that at that time Richard Maponya could be Richard Maponya. At that time, what's stopping you, my dude? Tap into something that you know that you like. For us, it not necessarily like, but it was a pain point. How come after such a long time we're still in the same economic like position? And then we both figured out, no man, people don't have financial literacy. We were like, oh, as in boy, we're starting a podcast. This now is our thing, and it takes a lot, bro. It takes a lot. I don't even think we were prepared for a lot of the challenges. But we're here. The fact, one of the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship, and if you're a person like myself, Sunny, once you start, you can't stop.
Sure.
But we've started. We can't stop now. We're here. There have been moments where we're like, dog, is this it? But the fact that you've started, we've awakened something in us that we can never like put to sleep ever again. We want to make this work. We understand that this is important. We've started a business based just purely on the fact that we hate our economic position as people. And the fact that we don't even have the right information to make any difference. Start something. Create something.
And also, every time there's a difference that was made in any country, it was a bunch of young people that were angry and fed up.
Very true. And we fed up.
Until all of us are fed up about what's happening. The president tweeted, saying that how many people that are on social grounds. We're celebrating that, and look, man, you might have a different view, and it's fine. It made me angry, and a lot of people share the same sentiments on Twitter. I remember. How could you be happy that people are not surviving themselves?
No.
How could you be happy with that? And it takes young people that will go beyond an angry tweet or an angry emoji.
An act.
We have to do something about it.
Sure.
And you might be asking yourself, what's it? Like, what am I gonna sell? This is the reason why I'm having this conversation where like you have to sit down and be like, truly, what would I want to sell? You want to sell hyper expensive weaves? It's fine, but you have to be open to the fact that you're not going to start at the weaves. You might start with chips though. You might start with a t-shirt. You might start with hats and socks. We have to do something about our country if we want to move forward. We have to do something for our unborn kids.
Facts.
Even if you have kids, you have to do something for their future.
Facts.
We have to do something about our situation. Because if you don't, it's going to be there for you to haunt you.
Fun.
Let us learn from the immigrants. Let us learn from the people who came before us to act. The people who changed the world are people who change the world.
Execute.
You feel me? Sure. We don't go to ShopRite because it was a good idea. We go to ShopRite because it's there. It's a shop. I see it.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do something about it. Anything you want to add?
The one thing that again, I think it's just putting out there what's okay, sure. Like you said, I think you just by speaking about immigrants made me think about something else. why immigrants get here and they progress faster than us is because they're willing to do what we're not willing to do. I hate the social media age, bro, because it made people feel like things are quick. Bro, you're 22. I'm 20. Okay, like last 10 days ago, I turned 22. I'm not supposed to have it all together. Sure. I'm not supposed to.
Even for the next 10 years.
Even for the next 10 years, bro. I can sleep for the next 10 years and I will wake up a baby. So exam 32 what? 32. I'm here right now attempting, like we always speak about this. This is the scariest thing I've ever done. I'm not comfortable with the camera. I'm not comfortable with a picture. But I understood Wuti. I'm tired of complaining, man. I'm tired of complaining. To a point where I get irritated when I hear people complain. Because I know that I was in that headspace where I believed Wuti, everything is wrong because of other people. I get it, man. Especially if you're young and you're black, so you're going through shit because this thing has been here for a long time and it's gunje, so what? Gunje. Figure out how to win and win. Yeah. Create something. I'll always keep emphasizing that fact, Wuti. This is not because we are the best people that can tell you about stocks or the best people that can tell you about crypto or any other subject about finance, but we are two young people trying to figure out this thing, and we're like, boy, I have you, you have me, let's rock. Because we understand that there are other people that are in the same position, and we are hoping with you guys tap in. That's why in one of the previous episodes we were like, guys, comment, subscribe, like, push this thing, because of the fact that if me and Broer were here chilling, speaking about we have the celebrity is actually dating Ubanoba, people would share this like it's nobody's business. It's also being in a position where we like, at some point we need to have to start taking accountability. How is this not, this is, in my mind, this is the greatest thing that's ever existed. This is two young black people from, like, he's a guy, I'm a woman. Two different perspectives on life. We experiencing life at different paces, at different angles. But we're saying, how is this not the greatest thing to ever be created? We are young. We're literally on the internet so far. I feel like we're the youngest people speaking about entrepreneurship or finance, financial literacy as a whole. How is this not great? I get it, man. I get it. Isakal, and I'm cool. I've never been, again, I hate this social media age where we feel like we have to be successful and can't. We're willing to put in the work for sure, but I'm like, bro, this is the greatest thing that's ever been created in my head, in my mind, in my heart. So we'll go at this every single day, bro. And we understand what to be up creating something. Yeah. Clean.
And just like my last point is, recently in our country, I'm South African, we live in South Africa. Sure. In our country, just in case you're not, in our country, we recently had a national shutdown. It's probably like a week later now.
Sure. And was on my birthday, by the way. Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea what it achieved.
It didn't.
And what I want you to ask yourself, if you're South African, is what these politicians, they're not gonna change our lives.
True.
Meaning then, people say like nobody cares, get to work. Truly, no one cares. Until we take responsibility.
Sure.
I plead with you guys to sit down and think, man, if I was an entrepreneur, what would I do? If you wanna go work, fair, it's all good. But to those of you that are uncomfortable, to those of you that life is hard, to those of you that have the burning desire to always want to do something, please go after it. We need you. We need you to do your part. And to tell also your kids that I did that. Like, I didn't just sit down and was okay with the status quo and just received like everyone else. I took a stand and I stood for something. Even if it fails, I did it though. And that's what we want to talk to you guys about. Please, doers do, man, and doers are people that actually do change the world.
Sure.
With that said,
Fitz, I feel like we've said enough. So shout out to you guys again. Like, comment, subscribe, so that we can kind of gauge Uguti, are you guys tapped in? What you guys want us to speak about? So yeah, for sure, man.
Sure. See you guys in the next episode.
You did.
Take care. Bye.